to today's class. What I wanted to ask you is, we'll start from the previous class. We left it at the sprue design. So at sprue design, I want to ask if I make a cylindrical design, what do you think will happen? That's the question. So typically, I know that it should be something like this, right? It should be something like this. Something like this.
Air bubbles. I mean,
Why would air
there would be
bubbles?
vacuum.
Why would air bubbles be there? So imagine if I'm pouring the liquid from here, the liquid will come something like this, right? And my sprue is cylindrical, but my liquid flows like this.
Hello,
Yeah.
sir, you aren't sharing.
No, I'm sharing.
Okay.
Everybody can see it, right? Can
I
somebody can
think
everybody see my
you
screen?
have
Yes,
issues.
sir.
We can see
Yes,
the
sir.
screen.
Yes, sir. It's visible.
Yeah, because I have two computers. I can see what you guys are seeing. Okay. So my question is, if this is how the liquid flows, right? The liquid will flow in the hashed portion. So this is the liquid flow. This is the liquid flow, and this is the this is the sprue. This is the sprue geometry. This is the sprue geometry. Sprue geometry. Sprue geometry. Now there will be these areas will be now if you look at it, this area right here, right? This area right here, and this area right here. What will be there? What will happen in this area?
Air bubble.
Yeah, air will come because it's there is nothing there, right? So if you have if you have a partially filled anything, right, the air will come, and this is everything here is permeable, right? The sand mold is permeable, the sprue is also permeable, so it can suck air in. And if it is not filled with liquid, the air will come in, so it will not be bubble. It will be like all this will be filled by so air would be, so there will be massive air aspiration, not only bubble. Significant air aspiration will be there because of this, right? So you have to make the sprue at least taper, so that make sure that there is very little empty space where the air can rush in, right? So that's how sprue is important. Otherwise, if you don't design the sprue properly, there will always be air aspiration, right? Now let's go to the next thing. So this is what we derived, right? We said that this HA over HT is A3 by A2 by A2 by V2 by V3, right? And then this also we discussed that there should be parabolic shape. Parabolic shape. A straight sprue can lead to aspiration of gases from the mold for a permeable mold, and you will get a porous casting. This is what we have explained. Now, if I'm filling the mold, I told you that mold has two configurations, right? Top gate and bottom gate, right? So if I have a bottom gate, this is the configuration. And if you remember, I had actually written the Bernoulli's equation in all conditions, right? I had written between 1 to 2, 1 to 3, right? What if I write between 1 to 4? Let me just draw it and write it 1 to 4. So if I have something like this is my pouring basin, this is my sprue. This is my, I'm not very good at drawing, so you have to bear with me. This is my runner. This is my gate. So this dimension, this diameter, bottom of sprue, which we call it A3, and this A4, which is AG, this is point number 4. This is point number 3. This is point number 2. And the top is point number 1. Point number 1. This is total head HT. Total head HT. And once it starts to fill, right? Imagine it is filled till here. So there is this back head. right? So now how do I get what time will is, or our objective is to find time required to fill the bottom gated mold, time required to fill a bottom gated mold. Come again, there is a question saying that on the contrary, what will happen if the tube length was thinner at the bottom than the sprue? What do you mean? I did not get your question. Can you unmute yourself and explain what exactly you want me to ask?
So, you mentioned that the sprue should be parabolic in nature.
Yes, or taper. So typically what you do, you make straight taper. That's what you do functionally.
So, what will happen if the thickness at the bottom is lesser than the sprue? I mean, you
Bottom
made
as
it.
in what you're talking about this gate velocity being smaller than so AG is smaller than A3. Is that what you are asking?
So you typically made it straight. So you made the thickness uh, greater than the
That
sprue thickness.
which thickness you're talking about? The area of the gate. This is actually this is a tube. This is a tube shape, and this is a tapered cylinder. So now where are you talking about? Are you talking about A3? You're talking about AG.
I'm
So what
talking
I'm
about
saying,
A3.
huh?
I'm talking about A3.
So I have A2 and A3. So my A3 should be less than A2. What is your question? If I make
So
it
what?
greater than A2?
No, no. A3. Here A3 is the expected sprue thickness, right? So what will
Not
happen
thickness,
if we
diameter.
decrease
There's no
A3?
thickness here. There's no thickness here.
Di-
It's diameter.
yes, diameter exactly.
It's
So what will happen if we decrease A3?
you can decrease A3. It's okay. The velocity will increase. Maybe there'll
Then
be some turbulence. There may be some turbulence because velocity
oh,
will increase. If you make it smaller than required, right? Then what will happen is you'll increase the velocity. So if you are below the Reynolds number, below 3,500 Reynolds number, you're okay. But if you make it so small that the velocity increases so high that there is turbulence, then it can do two things. A, it can do aspiration because of turbulence. There will be vortices formed. The second thing what will happen is it will wash away the sand close because it has a lot of very high velocity, right? So this can, because of this wall shear, it can wash off the sand. So you don't want very high velocities there. Your question
yeah,
was, what if I make A3 very small? Is that what you are asking, right?
yeah, yeah.
So the velocities will become very high, and those are not desirable on two counts. One, it will render the process. What is it called? There will be turbulent process. Flow will be turbulent. The second thing, what will happen would be is it can actually also wash away the sand mold little bit, which is not desirable. So you want to have these A2. Uh, the size should be governed by making sure that your sprue design should be such that you never go, the velocity is never high enough to get to turbulence. So your rho vd, I'll actually solve a problem for you. Rho vd by mu should always be less than or equal to, sorry, other way around, less than equal to 3,500. This will give me a relationship between v and d. So my product of the velocity which I have here and the diameter of the sprue should never exceed this. So this is how I get my design consideration. So the product of V and D should not be such that it creates problems that it creates turbulence. Okay. So we'll solve some problems. We'll get more clarity, but let's discuss this first. This is what I'm driving right now. Okay. You will have more questions when I solve the problems. So basically, this is what it is, right? So now, if I want to write between 1 and 4, can somebody tell me what should I use? P1, right? Plus rho GHT at 1 plus half rho V1 square. We have decided that V1 is very slow because it is like a reservoir. Very little change in the velocity is happening at the at the first interface. So V1 is 0, right? That we have decided. Now is equal to P4 plus rho G H4. H4 is also 0 plus half rho Vg square. Now is P1 is equal to P4? If the mold is aspirated, is P1 is equal to P4? Tell me. Somebody.
No, sir.
Why not?
P4 will increase with the time.
No, but what will be P4? It will increase the time, very correct. You're right that it will increase the time, but what will be the value of it?
Rho GH. Rho GH plus P. Rho GH plus P1.
Exactly. So P4 will be, apologize for all this. So P4, let me just add one more slide here so that it will be easier for you. Oh, there. There is a slide already. I'll move it here. So you're right that now what I'll do is I'll just transfer this information here. So P1 plus rho GHT, right? Half rho V1 square is 0 regardless. Half rho V1 square is 0, but I'll just write it for completion's sake. P4 plus rho G H4 plus half rho Vg square, gate velocity square. Now I know that rho GH4 is 0 because it is the reference height. It is at the base height. And rho Vn square is 0 because velocity at the top is 0, doesn't really change. It's like a reservoir, so it remains mostly constant. Now I have P1 is atmospheric pressure. We'll tell. Just wait a little bit. I'll tell you what is the difference between 3 and 4. P atmosphere plus rho G HT. P4 is P atmosphere plus rho GH. Whatever is. So if I have something like this here, whatever is the height here, this height, there is a back pressure because of this static liquid metal column. So this will be rho GH plus half rho Vg square. So this will be P atmosphere will go away. P1 is P atmosphere. So you have 2G root 2G HT minus H is equal to Vg. Right. Now the question somebody is asking is that what is, so this is 3, this is 1 here, this is 1, not 0, 1. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. So question somebody is asking is, what is the difference between 3 and 4? Difference between 3 and 4. At 3, what will be the P3? P3 is P atmosphere. What is H3? H3 is 0, right? And the velocity head is half rho V3 square. Half rho V3 square. Right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
This is 3. This is 3. And 4 has a static column head in the 4 will see a static column. So there will be extra pressure because of that. This you can also look at. I did the Bernoulli equation, but you can also look at the differential head directly. This is driving the flow. This is the differential head which is driving the flow, which is ht minus h. So the velocity will be root 2g ht minus h. So this is the differential head which is actually giving the velocity, right? So this you can look at this directly and say that this distance is ht minus h, and then you can write directly. You don't have to do all this energy balance business. Okay, but I just wanted to give you the feel for it. So you have velocity is equal to root 2g ht minus h. Now, how do I find the time? Can somebody tell me how do I find the time? How do I find the time now? What should I do? Now I know my supply is Ag, the gate area, times Vg, the gate velocity, and what is happening in the mold. If I know the mold area, Am, how is the mold front changing? How is this front changing?
So due to the supply of the material mold coming from the gate 4.
So what will happen? There will be finite rise in the level, right? So now what I can say is basically whatever is being supplied is Ag times Vg. This is what I'm supplying here. Ultimate supply. What this is doing is this is raising the height of the slowly. It is raising the height of the mold slowly by the rate of dH dt. Agreed or no? Do you agree that this is because something like continuity? I'm supplying this much flow rate, right? And what it is doing is it is raising the level in the mold, right? Raising the level in the mold by this rate dH dt. Any questions here? Everybody agrees to this or no?
Hello.
What if you can just type if you have questions, just type in the chat box and then I can answer. Do you have a question? If no, then let's just formulate this. So then what will happen will be, so Vg I know, Ag, and Vg I know is root 2g ht minus h is equal to Am dH dt, right? So I can basically find out dt is equal to Am divided by Ag dH divided by root 2g ht minus, I'm sorry, ht minus h, right? So I can integrate this 0 to t. I can do this 0 to h, right? Let me do this. What I'll do is I will share Mathematica. How many people know how to use Mathematica? I will want you to use Mathematica quite a bit here in this course because I don't want you to do any hand calculations anymore. Your high school is over, your school is over. Now you have freedom to use any tools you would like. So let me just show you the Mathematica calculation for this, and I'll use this for problem solving also. Just 1 second. Wait, let me just share the screen here.
Sir, there is a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So
Proprietary
if
software, it's
no, before that, if we move from point 1 to point 3, then pressure at point 3 must be equal to if we move from mold top 0.24 and then to 3.
I'll get there. I'll get to that. Let's first finish this and then I'll get to that. So this is what we wanted to do, right? This is how Mathematica looks. It's not a proprietary software, yeah, of course, but it's very powerful. You can do symbolic math here. So basically, this is what I have to solve, right? My mold height is 0 to HM, and time would be AM by A3 or AG, whatever I have put, root 2G HT minus H DH. So what I can do is I can just put AG here because I have put AG there, so I'll put AG here. This is what I want to solve. You just look what it does. It'll give in a little bit. It'll give you the solution for this. Oh, sorry, there are some variables which I have to unset. I'm sorry about that. Unset the variables. Now it will be fine. Is my screen visible to you? Is Mathematica visible to you guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Just 1 second, it will give you the answer. Takes a while. It's mine is not a very powerful computer. Okay, meanwhile, let me take the question while it solves. Okay, so what was the question? Let me go ahead and see what the question was. Okay. Okay. Sir, if we move from point 1 to P3, then pressure at P3 must be equal to 8. Move from top to 4, P3 shouldn't be the pressure be same. Oh, you are not understanding. This is the pressure is not the same. Otherwise, there will be no flow. You know, flow is because of the pressure gradient only. Pressures are not same in the pipe. There is the pressure difference actually drives the flow. So your energy has to be conserved. So your pressure P plus rho GH plus half rho V square has to be conserved. That's what Bernoulli's equation is, right? So why I don't know what question are you asking? For a static thing, it will be, you're right. If it's a closed cylinder, then everywhere the pressure will be same. In a flowing system, pressure is not same everywhere. Did I answer your question? Looks
Yes,
like there
sir.
is some. Yeah. So for, the pressure is same only is valid for a closed system, not for an open system. For open system, energy is conserved. So the first law of open systems is what drives the entire thing. So Bernoulli actually comes from the first law of open system. For a first law, basically, it is D. I'll just write it for you and then tell you how your Bernoulli comes from there. Let me just try to do this again. I don't know why it is taking so much time. It should not. Usually, it's very fast. I'm surprised it's taking so much time because usually it is much faster than this. I'll just about evaluation. Let me just open it again and then do it. I'm sorry. Usually closed form, sometimes it takes much time than more time than what you'd expect, but let me first do this. Let me unset the variables and then we'll do. Let's see how much time it takes. Meanwhile, we'll continue to. You have any other questions here? Why is pressure at 0.3 point is PATM? Because this entire mold is aspirated, right? It's open to atmospheric pressure. It's a permeable mold. So atmospheric pressure, it's open to atmospheric pressure in some form. That's why everywhere pressure is atmospheric only.
But
Yeah,
sir, in
here
the
is-
same manner, the pressure at 0.4 will be the atmospheric pressure.
Yes, but there is a liquid column in the back of it.
So that's why we are assuming that it's an incompressible pressure and steady flow. So we need to apply the Bernoulli's.
रुक जाओ. Steady flow is only till the gate. उसके बाद steady flow नहीं है. In the reservoir, there is no steady flow. You know why?
No, sir.
In the reservoir, there is barely any velocity. It's very incremental rate of increase. It's a reservoir. It's not a flow in a pipe. You get me? So your जैसे तुम्हारा pouring basin और mold दोनों में तुम्हारा pipe flow नहीं है. Your pouring basin is also like a reservoir, and mold is also like a reservoir. There's no flow there. Very slow, at snail pace it is happening. That's why I use DHDT. You remember?
Yes, sir.
That's why I used DHDT. I did not use velocity there. Did I?
No.
Right. The reason is there is very little flow. It's not like my flow. Let me just explain to you. First, let me just finish this, and then I'll get back to all your questions. Okay. The first thing is this is how you get the solution. There was something wrong in the previous. It gives you pretty accurately, right? So this is the you can do it by hand, but see, it gives you the solution right here. And then if you want, you can ask it to full simplify. If you want, it can you don't like this shape, ask it to simplify. You can ask it to simplify. It will simplify for you. It does like this, gives you the answer. If you don't like even this, you can ask it to full simplify. Say, I don't even like this. Let me do full simplify. Full simplify. Full simplify. I want to full simplify, say this term, right? Or maybe just ask you to full simplify this term if you don't like even this term. It's like telling it to do something, it will do it for you. It will give you some values. So it cannot do any further. So it stopped here. So you can get the closed form solution, symbolic math. It will give you the answer. And then, so basically, if you see, this is the time. So what I will do is I will now pull the sorry. So this is the solution for time. Okay. Okay, so this is the solution, exactly what we got from Mathematica. 2am A3 root 2g ht minus hm. This is the mold filling time. Okay, now let me get to your questions. Your question is, yeah. Okay. Right. So this is the bottom, this is the filling time for bottom gated mold. Bottom gated mold. And if it's a top gated mold, there is no question, right? It's very easy to do a top gated mold, right? Because it will be the volume divided by the input flow. So my mold volume is AM times HM, and the mold and the flow rate is A gate V gate. So for bottom gate, this is the formulation. For top gate, it is just whatever the volumetric flow rate is, volume divided by the volumetric flow rate. Okay. So now what we'll do is, let us stop here a little bit and take your questions. Okay. So tell me what your questions are now. Anybody? People had a lot of questions that time, right?
Sir, is that the steady flow or not?
What is steady flow? It is a steady flow. Yes, velocities are constant. So basically, your Bernoulli's equation is valid only for steady flow. Let me just go ahead and brush up your thermodynamics now. So I'll do one thing. I wanted to keep this actually. I wanted to solve a couple of problems and then I wanted to go there. But let me just briefly digress here and write something for you. I think that would be better. Get back to my pad and then I will do this and then we'll take it from there. Can you see my pad now, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So basically, your question is here. Let me just add a new slide and then I will just start writing things. So basically, you're saying this Bernoulli's equation, right? This Bernoulli's equation comes from this. dECV by dt is equal to Q dot minus W dot mi sigma mi dot hi my me dot me dot, the exit is me dot he dot Q dot minus W dot plus me dot he minus mi dot hi, right? Plus what? Plus sigma mi dot me dot ve whole square, right? Me dot minus sigma mi dot vi whole square, or half, right? Half plus mi dot me dot gze, right? Minus mi dot g z I. Z is the height, right? So this is your open system first law, right? So what happens is this is zero, steady state condition. There is no Q dot and W dot is say zero. So now what will happen is, if you assume, you can get your temperature will also be constant. So you will get your H is U plus PV, right? Temperature is constant. So what you will get is, you will get only U, if temperature is constant, you get U PV, right? And V becomes your, if it is Mi, if mi dot is equal to Me dot, right? If you have single output, single input, right? Mi dot is Me dot. They're not multiple things. In that case, you will get Bernoulli's equation. Bernoulli's equation for flow in pipe. So this is a simplification because your H is U plus PV. Your temperature is constant, so U goes to 0, and then you get only PV. So you will basically get M or MIs will get cancelled, right? So you will get basically m dot, right, u plus PV, ui, or let's say u1 plus p1 v1, right? And this will be minus m dot u2 plus p2 v2, right? This is hi, and then you have v square, right, plus half v square, right, half m dot v1 square plus half m dot, oh sorry, minus, right now, minus, one will be plus, one will be minus, so I'll just put v2 square minus, right, v2 square minus plus m dot g h1. Let me go ahead and put now h1, because now I have taken enthalpy out, so I'll put h as height, z1 is height, h1 plus minus m dot g h2, right? Now what will happen? My u1 and u2 is same because temperature change is not there, right? Same internal energy. So you will basically get m dot also cancels out. So you will basically get P1, V1 is specific volume. So basically it becomes rho. P1 by rho is equal to P1 by rho plus V1 by 2, V1 square by 2 plus GH1 is equal to P2 by rho GH2 plus V1 square V2 square by 2. Let me just same thing, same terms in 2. Right? You'll get same terms here. So basically your Bernoulli's equation comes from energy balance. That's all there is to it. So in your reservoir, there is no energy balance because there is very slow. It's not a flow. There is just a infinitesimal change here in the pouring basin also, and in the mold also. Okay. Did you get it? So basically your Bernoulli's equation just is wherever the flow is happening. The flow is happening only from the bottom of pouring basin to the gate. After that, there is very little flow. It's just an infinitesimal change in the height. It's not a flow. So this law of open system is not valid there. Did I answer your question? Or you have any other questions here? So this is how it comes. Bernoulli's equation from the first law of thermodynamics of open system. Okay. Any questions now? Is everybody clear, or still have doubts about this?
So how did you predict that pressure at point 2 will be the atmospheric pressure?
Everywhere the pressure will be atmospheric pressure, Baba, because it's a aspirated mold. The mold is permeable. Air can come in. तुम अगर रूम में बैठे हो तो प्रेशर क्या रहेगा? खिड़की खुली हुई है तो. What is the pressure?
PATM.
It's a permeable mold. It can let the air come in from the ambient.
But sir, here in the pipe, velocity is decreasing, so pressure gradient will also increase between 0.2 and 3.
भैया velocity है ना. You only don't need. So the only pressure doesn't drive the flow. The flow is driven by Bernoulli's equation, where pressure, velocity, and the static head, all three count. तुम अगर ऊपर से लेके नीचे डाल दोगे तो पानी बहेगा कि नहीं बहेगा? सेम प्रेशर पे भी टैंक से नीचे बिना पंप के पानी नहीं निकाल लेते हो. अगर बिल्डिंग के ऊपर तुम्हारे टैंक है तो तुम टैंक से नीचे पानी नहीं आएगा. तुमको प्रेशर के लिए मोटर लगेगी क्या उसमें? ओ ये पंप लगेगा क्या उसमें?
नहीं सर, बट वहां पर प्रेशर ग्रेडियंट ही तो उसको फ्लो को ड्राइव कर रहा है ना.
भैया स्टैटिक हेड ड्राइव कर रहा है, प्रेशर ग्रेडियंट ड्राइव नहीं कर रहा है. ये कांस्टेंट रहता है. हर चीज प्रेशर से नहीं होती है रे. ये तीनों कांस्टेंट रहता है. प्रेशर, वेलोसिटी एंड स्टैटिक हेड, ऑल थ्री आर कांस्टेंट. तीनों में से कोई भी काम करेगा. तीनों का सम कांस्टेंट करना चाहिए फ्लो के समय. गेट मी? There is a flow which is driven by pressure gradient. You are right. That's a flow. In a pipe, you can have a pressure gradient that will drive the flow. अगर तुमको एक पाइप दिया हुआ है और उस पाइप में तुमको यहां से तुमको थाने पानी भेजना है, तुमको प्रेशर ग्रेडियंट लगेगा, यू नीड अ पंप, राइट? बट इफ आई हैव अ टैंक व्हिच इज 100 मीटर हाई, तो मैं कुछ दूर तक तो पानी भेज सकता हूं ना उससे, जब तक फ्रिक्शन उसको ओवर पावर नहीं करेगा कि मुझे एक्स्ट्रा प्रेशर लगेगा। तो ये जो प्रेशर ग्रेडियंट है ना, द प्रेशर हेड, द वेलोसिटी एंड द स्टैटिक हेड, ऑल थ्री कंट्रीब्यूट टू फ्लो, नॉट ओनली प्रेशर हेड। अगर वेलोसिटी भी तुम दे दोगे, मान लो कि तुम एक ट्यूब में खूब हाई वेलोसिटी पे नोजल से पानी डाल रहे हो, राइट? तो आगे जाएगा कि नहीं जाएगा? वो उसी प्रेशर में पूरी पाइप है, राइट? एक नोजल ले लो, उसमें बहुत हाई वेलोसिटी वाटर तुम पंप करो एक पाइप के अंदर, पाइप पानी आगे जाएगा कि नहीं जाएगा? Even though everything is at specific pressure, because you have a velocity head. So both velocity, static head, and pressure, all three contribute, not only pressure head. It's energy balance, simple energy balance. अगर एंथैल्पी रहेगा तो एंथैल्पी भी ड्राइव कर देगा तुम्हारा। ये जो फर्स्ट ऑफ थर्मोडायनेमिक्स है, दैट्स ऑल इज द होली ग्रेल। तो या तो तुम एनर्जी दो, क्यू दो, या वर्क करो, या फिर तुम एंथैल्पी दो, या वेलोसिटी दो, या हाइट दो, everything will result in change in energy. So this is the governing equation. खाली pressure नहीं drive करता है, energy is constant, that's all there is to it. That's all you have to understand. Once you know your first of thermodynamics, everything falls in place. Okay, so I'll stop here. If you have any questions, you can ask me later, because I don't want to eat up time for the class. Okay, so I'll flip back to the problem solving session. If you have any questions, you can write to me and I can set up a meeting with you. Just one second. Okay, good. So what I will do is I will share this screen again. Just give me a minute, and then we'll solve some problems. So let me just share my screen. Okay, good. So let me just go ahead and do this. So everybody is now clear?
Sir, your screen is not visible.
So you are not audible.
Sorry. Yeah, am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, there was something wrong. It crashed. So let me just go ahead and pull my PowerPoint and then share the screen. Sorry for this. Team started acting up. Okay, good. I don't know why it's showing me so many windows of Teams. Yeah, good. Finally. Sorry about the confusion. Okay. So this is the problem which we want to do, right? I have a sprue height of 20 centimeter, base cross section is 2.5 centimeter, volume of mold cavity is 1560. I need to find the velocity at the sprue base and flow rate of the mold filling cavity and mold filling. That's very simple, right? How do I find this? I think I don't even need to solve this. You would probably do it in your head. So what will be the velocity? This is a top gated mold, right? So what will be the velocity at the in the top gated mold? Anybody?
Root 2GH.
Root 2 GHT, right? You know
Yes.
the velocity. You know the cross section of the sprue base A3. So you know what is the volume being supplied, A times V, right? And you know the volume of the cavity. So you can find out what is the mold filling time, right?
Yes, sir.
Very easy, right? Just 1 second thing. Now let me give you another problem. Consider sand mold below. You wish to pour molten iron so that the cavity is not turbulent. Determine the diameter of the gate for the given problem data. How would you go ahead and do that? Can somebody tell me that? I'll give you the data. The data is here. The density of iron is 7860. The viscosity is 2.25, and sprue height is 0.51 meters or 2 inches. And you assume that runners and gates are uniform cross section. Riser you can ignore. How do you go ahead and do this problem? Can somebody tell me? What all do I need? First thing, what do I need?
Sir, can you move back the slide to the figure?
There's nothing here. There's no information here in this slide. All the information is there in that slide. What actually, this is not even important. Let me go back to this is not important. Let's look at this problem. This is the problem. It says that I have a sprue height, including the pouring cup. So total height is 2 inches, HT, right? And I know the rho, I know the viscosity, right? Now I have to find out at what condition I will not get turbulence.
Yes, sir.
How do
So,
I
we can
what
put
all
it
do
less
I do?
than. So the Reynolds number should be less or equal to 3500, and then we can put the values and get the diameter of the gate.
Yeah. So this is all you have to do. It's a very simple problem. You have to do. Okay, not here. Let me just close this. I should have it somewhere else. So this is what is given, right? Mu is given. Mu is given 2.25. Rho is 1500. HT is this. So I know the velocity. I go ahead and find the velocity. Shift and velocity is, oh, sorry. I did not run this cell. My mistake. Let me first undo. So first thing in Mathematica, what you have to do is you have to clear all the variables because it stores the variables. And then you define the variables. I know my viscosity is 2.25. My density is 1500. My total height is 0.051 and gravity is 9.8. So I'll go ahead and run this cell. So these values get stored. These values get stored. Now I want to find velocity. So what I will do is I'll run this cell. My velocity is 0.998 or roughly 1 meter per second. And now I want to solve for diameter. I know that rho Vd by mu should be less than 3500, should be equal to 3500. This is a limiting value. I will ask to solve it for d. So I'll ask to solve it for d. So let me just do it. It's actually like writing English. And it tells me that you would need, this is all in meters, right? So this is 0.005 meters or 5.25 millimeter would be the diameter. 5 millimeter is the diameter. For if you have 5 millimeter diameter, you can have till 5 millimeter diameter. उससे छोटा करोगे, so then what you will have is उससे बड़ा करोगे, तो then there will be problems, right? Then you will get then we'll get higher Reynolds number. So 5 mm is what you can give here. It's just these numbers are not physics based, but just to give you a feel for what kind of numbers you get. Okay, so that is what is here. Very simple problem. Homework, I'll give you slightly more complicated problems. Exams will be slightly more than that. Okay, so I'll give you some homework where there will be some decent kind of problems. Okay. Any questions up till now? So what I will do is, before I move on to the next thing, I would like to, oh, time is over, sorry. So we'll talk about solidification in the next class. If you have any questions, ask me, or you are now, or you're free to go. Okay. Thank you very much for your time.
Sir, can we use Maxima instead of Mathematica?
Any you can use Mathematica, you can use Maple, whatever you want to do. You can also use, I think there are some open source software also for that, right? Some open source also is there for this. That's fine, whatever you use. And Institute has site license for it. So you can use, I like it because it's very powerful. Symbolic math, I think Mathematica is one of the best tools available there. Okay. Any other questions? If not, have a good day and happy Sankranti to all of you. Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Stop the recording. Thank you. Bye-bye.